Hip Hop Marvels Podcast. You want that? Your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip hop and Marvel. We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Okay, out there in Marvel Land, face front, this is Stan Lee speaking. You've probably never heard this before, so anything is liable to happen.
It's your boy DJ Dub Floyd, in the place to be, and in the place to be is DJ Dub Floyd. This is the Hip Hop Marvels Podcast, back with another In-Betweener segment where we showcase marvelous people doing marvelous things within the culture. And I'm here with innovator of sorts. I recently peeped him and checked him out online on Instagram, and he has an independent hip-hop magazine out right now. Fanzine, I should say. I like that name too. But he's the creator and writer of Street Dreams, an independent fanzine about hip hop, and he's also the creator and writer of Dummy Comics. So I want to give it up for Kalani Caraballo.
Hell yeah, welcome. Man! And thank you, man. And I'm glad you got my name correct, man. A lot of people don't get it correct, man, on the first shot. So I love that, man. I'm already geeked off the rip.
no doubt. Before we get into it, I just want to let the listeners know to remember to listen, share, rate, and subscribe. We're on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Stitcher, and more. If you have a question or comment, email us at hiphopmarvels@gmail.com, and also follow us on our social media, Twitter and Instagram at hiphopmarvels, Facebook hiphopmarvels, all one word. Also subscribe to the Hip Hop Marvels YouTube channel. So yeah, man, you got to walk me through this. So we'll start with the Street Dreams, with the independent fanzine about hip hop. We'll start with that. Okay. Before we get into the comics thing, first of all, how'd you come up? What made you go this route with an independent magazine?
Okay, man. So pretty much, if I have to say, is the idea kind of came in 2017. So. You all know, everybody knows that in June of 2017, Prodigy died. Prodigy of Mobb Deep.
Right, rest in peace, Prodigy.
Yeah, hell yeah, RPP. So I had remember when he died. First off, I remember that day vividly because I was at work and I was a temp. So lucky me, I didn't have nothing to do all day. So I spent the last half of the day pretty much sitting in a cubicle crying about Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about, you know what I mean? I'm a Prodigy fan, man. You know. Oh,
for sure.
Anyway,
for sure.
Yeah.
We talked about many a time on this podcast.
Oh, hell yeah, that's dope, man. I definitely got to do my due diligence and go listen back to those episodes as well. But so kind of to answer the question now, make a long story, kind of a long story short. So when that happened that same day, when I was driving home from work, Clue was on the radio on Power 105. No.
Okay.
No. He's on Hot 9. No, he was on Hot 97. So he was on Hot 9, and then he was playing Prodigy, Mobb Deep records, but he wasn't playing just like Shook Ones and Quiet Storm. He was playing like mixtape classics, and you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the one joint that he played was Young Love, which which features this crazy Prince sample on there. And so they never got that record cleared, but that it made it to like white label and all of that. So when I was hearing like Young Love and hearing all these records, I remembered that my cousin had a mixtape from J Love and Mobb Deep called Mob Misses, and this featured all like unreleased joints and like it was just like a street album, but with just unreleased like Mobb Deep joints.
I do remember that. Shout out to J Love too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He always had the bangers. So.
Yeah, oh hell yeah. So that led me down a rabbit hole, So I went and I was trying to find like Mob Misses on YouTube, and I couldn't find it. Tried Dat Piff, couldn't find it. Did a little Google search, and I found Mob Misses on J Love's website. He was selling it for a couple dollars, I think like $6 or $3 for the download. Copped it right away. And then I just started thinking about more and more. It started making me think about like doo-wop mixtapes and Clue tapes and Tony Touch, and it just brought me back, man, in 2017. So the whole time, so like I've been doing comics since 2016, you know? So, so with that, like, you know, so my downtime from doing the comic stuff, you know, my downtime was spent like searching the deepest, darkest parts of the internet, looking for like old tapes and trying to get them already tracked out. And it's to the point that some of them I couldn't even find tracked out, so I would have to put them in the garage band and cut them up, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
I noticed that.
I
noticed that with a lot of like because you know, when I got into the mixtape game, one of the people I looked up to was Dirty Harry, and
that's a big name. That's a name that gets mentioned all through that magazine.
yeah. Dirty Harry. That's definitely, he was definitely an inspiration and the reason why I, you know, started doing what I was doing. But yeah, like his mixtapes now, like, you know, it's crazy because I just downloaded Hang 'Em High the other day. You know, that was a double tape then. And it's not tracked out, and I was just like, oh my gosh, but I don't have the time to go in and track these things out.
You know no, dude, no, like I took days sometimes to like track them and make sure that the cuts were perfect. Like, yo, I mean, it's ridiculous, but like, I mean, most people, you know, I don't know, would take the time out. Like there's like a love into it, man. Like I'm in love with mixtapes, man. Just, you know what it was? So the magazine, to answer kind of your original question, just, I'm sorry that I went to this tangent, man, but I can get wax poetic about this stuff. Nah, go. Yeah. Okay, absolutely. So, you know, this is like kind of like my favorite era. Like I just, you know, like listening to these tapes, like it's like there's only like two time machines in existence, and that's comic books and old mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? I could pop, so I could pop in a Clue tape and I could be back in '96. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it won't be my 96 because in 96 I was a kid, but you know, hearing those records and hearing those times, it makes you remember 1996 and what it was like. And had I had that soundtrack to my life at that time, that would have been it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I just fell in love with them, and I always felt like there's always a story behind something. Nothing just gets created to be created. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something to it. There's a passion behind it. There's a story behind everything. So I took it upon myself to kind of just I wanted to interview people. I wanted to talk to Doo-Wop. Like the conversation I had with Doo-Wop in the magazine, I've had that conversation with myself. I've had that conversation planned since like 2017. You know, I just never had an outlet. I was thinking of doing a podcast, and I know you know this, you know, podcast is a lot of work.
It's definitely a lot of work.
So you know, I couldn't figure out a way to balance doing a podcast and then doing the comics, and you know what I'm saying. And by doing the comics, it isn't just, you know, I'm just writing and you know what I'm saying, passing, and just, you know, like a lot goes into it. I do travel, do cons, I, you know, pop up at shows, you know, so I am pretty busy doing that. So I couldn't balance doing a podcast on top of it. So now, you know, kind of fast forward, COVID-19 hit. So I was furloughed back in April. So to keep myself kind of busy, I was working on like comics. Like I was drawing one for like for a project that's coming out soon. So I was drawing that, and then I was working on something else. But then like a lot of things started like happening. Like Tony Touch and Doo-Wop were battling. You know, just different hip hop things were just kind of just coming in, and a lot of like mixtape stuff was popping up and you know, kind of showing itself to me a little bit. And you know, I listened to the world, man. I listened to the universe, and I just decided, it kind of just hit me like, yo, why don't you do a zine? You can talk to the people still, you know what I'm saying? Put some art into it, and it's still publishing, and it's still, you know, it's still getting your name out there. So that's how, you know, the Street Dreams thing just came. Everything came quick. It was like, yo, I could interview Doo-Wop. I could do this. I could do that. It was like, what can I call it? And I was like, Street Dreams. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, yo. So, you know, I told my fiance and my editor, Chrissy, I was like, yo, what do you think of this name for a fanzine? She was like, what's the name? I was like, Street Dreams. And I was like, woo! I said that. I was like, woo!
That's it right there.
I was like, yeah. She was like, yo, that's money. After that, after that, I just started hopping in people's DMs, asking if they wanted to be in a hip hop mag. If they wanted to be in a hip hop fanzine.
It's crazy because like I'm looking at some of the features you had. You know, like you said, you mentioned Doo-Wop. You have P Cutter, J Arms, DJ Butter. You have my bro Miami Kaos. He's done a slew of my mixtape covers.
Oh really? That's fucking crazy. That's dope, man.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, he's done a slew of my mixtape covers in the past. When I was cranking out mixtapes and and yeah, like he's a legend. He's a graphic legend.
Yeah, man. It was like, yo, I was going through. I had dug out like some booklets, man, and I was looking at funny thing, man. Like I didn't keep a lot of covers, but the ones that I did keep were the Miami Chaos covers. Like, yo, everybody that I had in the magazine was planned. The only people that weren't really that weren't a part of the original cast of like the DJs that I was gonna interview was DJ Butter. Kind of just it came to me because I like I put Discogs on my phone,
right?
And I started looking for like old shit on there, and I started like searching things, and I'm like, yo, like let me think back. And I remember I had a homie from Detroit back in the day, like, you know, through the internet and all of that, you know, cop music, and you know, I would support his music and all of that. And this dude was like a homie, and he had got on a Butter mixtape. So I was like, yo, where's that Butter mixtape that Rick was on? And I went and looked for it, and I couldn't find it. But I was like, yo, hold up. I was like, yo, let me interview Butter. I was like, let me hit him up and see what's good. Yo, like I said, everybody that got in the magazine, though, was literally through Instagram DMs. I didn't have to go through no publicists, no.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying. I got to operate this outside of the industry, and that's the goal, to kind of keep it as independent as possible.
Yeah, it's like the magazine is a mixtape itself. You know what I'm saying, for the culture. And then
absolutely, and it comes with one.
And
it ultimately comes with one.
That's crazy too. That's the other dope part about it. And then also you had the homies Lukey Cage, Money Miz, the Fuck You Mean podcast.
Yeah. Yo, like, those dudes, let me tell you, so shout outs to them because they're like solid dudes, man. I got a lot of love for them.
Yeah. Shout out to Lukey.
Obviously, like, yeah, shout out to Lukey too. He hit me, yo. He let me see the blister bars joint.
Oh, Blaster Blicky bars. Yeah,
Blaster Blicky bars. There you go, Blaster Blicky bars. He let me hear that like before it dropped, and yo, I saw all that shit early, and I was like, yo, that's just gonna be crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be interviewing him soon as well.
Oh hell yeah, that's dope.
He gave me a early preview of the album, and it's crazy. So shout out to Lukey. He's one of the squad. Like he was with HipHopmarvels early.
Oh yeah,
early.
Okay.
So yeah, he's an honorary member.
But let me tell you. So like I said, they solid because I hit them up. It's like, you know, like I did like I said, people that I put in the magazine, I'm a legit like fan of, and like, you know, like obviously like I'm on Instagram like a lot more than any human being should be, but like I like searching. I'm like the watcher. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like to sit back and like watch people do their thing, and I'm like, and you know what I'm saying. And when I need to like kind of hit people up and think of like creative things that I can include people in, I start to think of the things that like, you know, that I've seen and watched that I'm like, yo, that would be fire. I respect what they do. They kind of, like we kind of think the same a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how opinionated on rap and shit we can be, you know?
Oh yeah,
and
of course.
I fucked with them and hit them up, man. And they were like down like right away. Like, you know, they did like we have a section in the magazine called Canal Street. Also, Ito is in there too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Word.
I'm name dropping like an asshole, but anyway, the fuck you. So I hit the Fuck You Mean to get them in there because I was like, yo, they would be perfect, especially Money Miz, because I know Miz is like the collector, and you know what I mean, and you know, like I've read his post, and I'm like, yo, this guy could talk about rap. So I was like, this would be perfect for him, and he gave me like fucking like a dissertation on 5 mixtapes. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So yeah, so they added some energy to it. You know what I'm saying? They definitely added some energy to the Street Dreams idea. You know what I'm saying? They were like, yo, they were like, and they were kind of like, yo, if you we'll do the magazine, but you gotta interview Beans. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I like shit like that where people like, you know what I'm saying, like empower their friends. You know what I mean? And then
for sure.
Yeah. So they were like, yo, we'll do it, but you gotta interview DJ Beans. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll interview DJ Beans. Like, that's cool. Like, I fucks with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And me and her, we had like a 3-hour conversation. That like I fucking transcribed everything, and that shit came out to like almost 12 pages. I ended up cutting it down to like 7, but there was a lot of shit. We talked about pretty much everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard her story, kind of, you know, almost like, you know, from beginning to you know now, and you know, it was, you know. It's definitely an experience, and that's also the cool thing about it is that, you know, not only was I seeking to hear people's stories, but people were, you know, willing to tell them, and that's, you know, that's dope in itself, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I want to get in, so before we get into, like, you know, how you, you know, came up with the Dummy Comics imprint and everything, I want to get into, you know, we, here at Hip Hop Marvels, we normally ask our guests what their Hip Hop Marvels origin story is. That meaning, you know, what was that first initial record? What was the first, you know, what got you into hip hop? And then on the flip side of that, what was the thing that, you know, what was the catalyst to get you into, you know, either Marvel or DC? First of all, I don't even know if are you a Marvel head or DC head?
I mean, if I'm the pick, I bang with Marvel all day. A Marvel gang when it comes to like the old stuff.
Okay.
I don't really keep up. I don't keep up with it as much currently, but you know.
Okay.
I see the movies. You know, I see the movies, and you know, I know every. You know, when they make the movies, you know what I'm saying. I do my research on the characters and everything. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. So what? I'll just say comics in general. What was the, you know, what got you into comics, and what got you into hip hop? You know. Okay,
so I'll do hip hop first because you know what I'm saying. That's what came first. I say hip hop came first. That, you know. So I started listening to hip hop 97. So Biggie had just died maybe that summer. So that summer Biggie had the summer on lock with More Money, More Problems.
I remember that Clue tape.
Yeah, Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang had Triumph out.
Yeah,
I was, you know,
Wu-Tang
like
Forever.
9 years old. Yeah,
yep.
You know, Diddy had I'll Be Missing You.
That,
you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to get into the Bad Boy. Yeah, that was a crazy year for hip hop. Mm-hmm. So that summer, man, I just started like listening to like Diddy and Mace and, you know, Biggie, and I was like, that guy died. I was like, let me go listen to him, and I was like, oh, like studying, and like, you know, one of the first records, like, you know, that I ever heard in hip hop was, you know, that was that summer that got me into it. But the first hip hop shit that I ever heard that got me like, yo, like, what is this? Like, liking music and everything, that got me into wanting to listen to music was Nas, If I Ruled the World.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
That's not a bad starting point at all.
Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful starting point. Then it led me to the Fugees. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know, so I was young listening to that. So that was like, you know, me kind of like, you know, starting to get into hip hop, and then, you know, so the summer that Biggie wasn't here, but Wu-Tang was dropping, Diddy was dropping No Way Out. So that was my summer. That was the summer that got me into hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what got me into hip hop. Comics. I always had the toys as a kid, but, you know, I wasn't going to the comic book shop every Wednesday. You know, so when I got a little older, Comic Book Men had came out.
Okay.
And so I was watching Comic Book Men.
I love that show. Shout out to Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
the
man,
whole gang at the secret stash.
Oh, hell yeah! I'm a Jersey kid, so, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm from Jersey too. Yeah, that's
word.
That's Red Bank. That's Red Bank.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Jersey.
Jersey City, man.
Oh shit! Oh cool. So I'm in Belleville, so we close.
Okay, yeah. I'm not there currently. We're based out of Durham, North Carolina, but that's where I was.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
I still go back there. My mom, she's in Trenton, so I go back there.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. So I was into the toys and the cartoons as a kid, man, and then Kevin Smith. Years later. They started, I saw the Avengers and things, and I'm like, yo, I used to like watch these cartoons and collect these toys, and I was like, I never read the comics. And then as I was watching it, Comic Book Men, they did like an episode on the Secret Wars, and I saw that black suit Spider-Man. Yeah. So that was like the first like Grail comic that I ever got. And it was a crazy story because I remember one day I had seen it at my local comic shop. And I only had like $40 in my pocket, and I could have bought it, but I would have been broke, so I didn't buy it. So when I had another $40, that I was like, yo, I can spare this 40. I went to go buy it, and it was sold. So I called like a couple of stores around the way from me, and nobody had it, but this one store had it. So I had to take like 2 buses to get there. I didn't have a whip at the time, so I had to take like 2 buses to get there, and they had one on the wall for like $40. And I was like, cool. I was ready to spend that, and I was like, yo, do you guys have any more? Because I was looking for the other issues, because it's like a 12-issue. There's a 12-issue miniseries.
Right.
So the dude went and looked in the bins, and he found like a reader copy for $9 and a number 4, that crazy cover with the Hulk holding up the mountain with all the heroes right next. Ooh, damn, that's a fire cover. Yeah, that's a crazy cover. Yeah. So he was like, yo, we got this one for $9. He's like, I don't know if you want to spend $40. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the $9. And I was like, that one has character, and it has like, you know what I'm saying, it needs some love. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna take that home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, that needs some tender love and care, you know what I mean? So I brought that home. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna give that a good home, you know?
Word.
Yeah, man.
So
that's what got me into comics. And then as far as like writing, comics now, one night I used to rhyme. I used to be a rapper. I used to have bars. Same here. Yeah. Everybody think they got bars. Yeah. Nah, but I'm okay though. You know, I'm all right. I think I can rap, but I don't rap.
What was your name? Your
my rap name?
Yeah, your MC name. Yeah, your rap name.
Crucifix.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. That was my rap name.
Yeah, that's then, back. That's back when everybody had the underground names and whatnot. Yeah. Mine's back in the day. Yeah, mine was Lazarus. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, okay, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's
you know what I mean. So, but yeah,
that's dope.
So
as far as the comics, so one night I was like up on YouTube looking for samples. This was like in 2014. And I was up late, and YouTube, you know how they had those suggested videos on the side? So I had seen one. It was like Mallz Goes Shopping, Mallz from Cali.
Yeah.
So
big comic book fan too, by the way.
Yeah. So Fuse TV had taken him shopping. I guess he was in New York for promoting something. And they took him to Midtown.
I remember that one. I remember that one.
So in the video, so he's breaking down like the Black Panther. Mm-hmm. He's breaking down like his spending habits, like how much he goes in, things that he's reading currently, the whole nine. How to steal them. You know what I'm saying? He even told you how to steal them from Midtown. Yep. And then in between all of that, he was like, I did my own comic book. And he was talking about being in Comic-Con, having a table, doing a soundtrack,
I do remember that.
All this like cool shit that I was like, yo, that would be dope. That would be dope. And I was like, yo. And then, ideas had came, and I had decided to write a comic. I had an idea for one, and I wrote it. And it wasn't that good.
So, I mean,
it wasn't that good. Like it didn't leave the cutting room floor, and it was to the point that I was thinking about putting it in like the next Street Jeans, because it was like a hip hop like sci-fi story, and I was gonna put it in, but aesthetically, like it was kind of like done wrong. So like I had like a splash page start on an odd page. in the whole 9. So
okay.
so like aesthetically, like you could like I was like, yo, like I didn't even realize it. I was like, yo, like that's how like inexperienced I was and how inexperienced the artist was. And then I was paying a lot of money too, and I was just, yeah, man. So
oh wow.
So that was the first comic and I was like, yeah, nah, this just sucks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. Like, what are some of the titles? Because I seen one. I ran across one. Pistol Grip.
Pistol Grip is So in Dummy Comics, we have these titles. So the first comic that I ever dropped was called Home, which is based on a true story of my best friend's house growing up. My best friend's house was haunted. So I did a whole comic book about his experience with the house, and then so I only dropped 3 issues so far. We're putting out the final issue to that series sometime either this year or next year, I believe. And then we have another comic book, another series called Manifesto, which is it was kind of inspired by Christopher Dorner.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's called Manifesto.
Yeah,
so
when he written a manifesto. Yeah.
So it's about a police officer named Greg Wolfman who goes rogue to avenge his family. He took down a Mexican drug cartel, and exposing officers in his own department being on the take, and so they seek revenge on him and killed his family in the process. And now he's going rogue, going after everybody that did him wrong.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then this is the third title. Yeah. So the third title we have is Messenger, which is crazy because my dad is actually the creator of that. So my father hit me up and was like, yo, I got an idea for a comic, and I want you to write it. So he created it. I wrote. Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah, that was interesting too, man. My dad
got the family involved.
Yeah,
I mean, is he the only one involved? Like, do you have your family involved?
Well, my editor is she is my fiance, and my editor, so she does, and she handles, the business with me as well.
Oh, that's okay.
So, as far as that, so it's just Chrissy. That's my fiance and my editor. And then my dad is just the creator of Messenger, which Messenger, it's about God being fed up with humanity. So he sends the messenger down to see if humanity is salvageable or not.
That's some shit that resonates with what's going on right now. Like,
so we only put out 1 issue of that so far, man. And my dad is actually kind of a actor. He's been in some things. He's been like some background roles in some things. Okay. But he also writes. But he's trying to write a movie based on it. So, and he's got this whole idea. So that's really the inspiration of it. Is just that he's trying to, like, my dad is interested in making a movie out of that creation. And he was just like, yo, I wanted a comic book to kind of just see how it would look, how cool it could look or whatever, and something I could present to people. So
that's dope. That's super dope, man. So how'd you come up with the name Dummy Comics? Like, where did?
Oh, that's simple, man. Because my friends are assholes, man. So my friends are assholes, So with friends like mine, who needs enemies? No, I'm just playing. I love them, but they are assholes. So they were like, all my friends were like, yo, don't do it. Don't waste your money. Yo, you can't draw. They're like, comic books. They're like, yo, you're going to be competing with things that's been around for 75 years. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, they're like, what, you think you're going to be on Marvel? Like, yo, like, yo, I heard everything. Everything that was like, no. And then, and I was like, to me, like, yo, you tell me no, I'm gonna say yes to myself and do it, So right. I felt challenged and emboldened a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna make that happen. And so when it came time, when we had our first comic done, it came down to we needed a name, a publisher name. I didn't want to use my name. I didn't want it to be like Caraballo Comics or something like that. I just wanted it to be something that could stand on its own too, because I knew it would be some time before like a Marvel or somebody were to want to get in contact with me.
Yeah, it's catchy. It's catchy. It's, you know what I'm saying, dummy comics. Yeah, I can see that everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, it goes both ways, because then there's people that are like, meet us, right? And, kind of like you, they'll have a conversation with me and they'll be like, yo, dude, like, you need to change that name because you're not dumb. And like, there are people that are like, yo, dude, like, you don't understand like how powerful you are. And like, dude, like, you're doing this, and, that name, it's degrading to you. And I'm like, but there have been times where people looked at it and they're like, dummy comics, like they think it's like something funny. And then other times people are like, okay, well, that's an interesting name. And then, usually the name will be the icebreaker. And then, then talking about the comics is, the kind of like, all right, let's draw you in. And then now it's like, pick and choose. And a lot of times it's overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? When people come to cons and they see our table, they're like, what the fuck is all of this? And, there's, 3 issues, and there's issues, and there's, there's material that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that do comics, people tend to take long, and a lot of times people don't complete series that they start.
Right.
And
here
all
you
of
are.
that.
Here you are with like
so,
massive amounts of.
Not even just that. Like, dude, people are seeing a number 3. They're like, like, bro, you put 1 out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you finally make
there's people that put
3.
1 out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's people that can't even get 2 out.
Right.
And we pride ourselves on trying to, release 4 a year.
That's what I'm saying. And here you are with multiple titles with like number 2s and 3s and stuff. So yeah, that's crazy. So you mentioned cons. You mentioned some cons. What are some of the cons you've been to so far?
Well, the furthest one that we've been to, it was C2E2 in Chicago.
Okay.
And oh man, like that shit was like a horror story, man. I tell people horror stories about being there, man, because it was just like we basically people watched.
Yeah.
Basically, but we paid so much money, and it was just like, basically, bro, like I paid so much money. We paid so much money collectively to like have a table there and be there. And it was just like we paid that much money just to go to said to C2E2. So we paid hella money, and we basically towards like maybe like the second or third, like by like the second day, we were basically just Congoers at that moment. But to be honest, it was crazy though, because there were people that did recognize who I was.
Okay.
So there were people that were like, so there were people that were like, yo, like, holy shit, like I see you here. I had people come from Midwest cities to come see us too. So it wasn't
okay. That was dope.
So so you know what I'm saying, like in that regard. But for the most part, it was like a small pocket of people. But the rest of it was mostly like, most of it was people watching. But, I did get recognized by some people. And then at the same time, I did also get the first appearance of Gambit. So that was kind of tight.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah. I bought that shit to make me fucking as a pick me up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Pick me up. To calm you down and everything. Like I'm gonna get something out of this whole ordeal. Like
Like I was like, I'm fucking leaving with something, man. And then at the same time, I had friends that like gave me shit like, yo, go meet this person, and I'm telling them, I'll do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I had all the time in the world to go do that shit.
Right. I was gonna ask you, did you get your network on at least? Like,
people came by that had podcasts and we did them. I haven't heard none of those episodes or anything from those people, if they even released those sound bites from those things. But man, it was just like a horror story too, because where they positioned us too, we were like in the beginning of the con. So pretty much most people just
they walk right.
Us.
Yeah, the traffic
they're like
rushing right past you.
They weren't even stopping, and like the people next, like there was a dude next to us that was selling like T-shirts, but it was of like characters that everybody knows. So people were like, "Yo, that shirt is dope," and You know, so they kind of like made bread, but then Unstoppable Comics was down there. I don't know if you know who those guys are, but
it sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're always at like the big cons. They're always at like C2E2, New York Comic Con. Okay. They're always at like in the indie spots of those. So they're dope as hell too. Shouts to JD, man. But so like they were there. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like our row, just like besides the t-shirt dude, really didn't make any bread like that. So you know what I mean? And then Chicago, man, like yo, like they don't even have like yo. I don't know if you like deep dish pizza, but deep dish pizza is disgusting. So New York pizza, there is no debate with Chicago. I'm sorry, your pizza sucks. Yo, Chinese food, they don't, you know what I'm saying? Chinese food, there's no chicken wings and French fries.
They got good hot dogs. They got good. I heard
about. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into phallic food. So
right.
No, I'm just playing.
But yeah.
So like Chicago. So we did C2E2. Then we did BlurCon in DC, man, and it sucks that BlurCon isn't going on this year. I don't know if you've ever been there.
No, it's crazy because
you never been there. Oh
no.
My God!
Look, I'm gonna tell you.
Have you ever heard the stories of like Freaknik and all of that?
Bruh, I heard the stories. Check this out though. Like, so when I first started Hip Hop Marvels, I reached out to Hilton George, the founder, behind BlurCon, and I reached out to him, and it was the first year he was throwing it. I was supposed to, go there and do like a panel and set some interviews up and stuff like that, and scheduling conflicted, so fast forward to about, was it last year? I want to say last year, it was the North Carolina Comic Con here in Durham, North Carolina, and Hilton George had a panel here.
Okay.
A Black Heroes Matter panel, and he had a panel about BlurCon.
Okay.
And they showed a video, bruh. When they showed the video, I said I got to go. And I was planning to go literally. It would have been literally this weekend.
Yeah.
My birthday is Saturday. I had it all. I had it all mapped out. Yeah.
Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, right, dude. Number one, the year before I went. So in 2000, that was 19 that we did it. So 18, one of my homies did the event, and he's like, yo, he fucking like his IG story was crazy. It was like the craziest shit I've ever seen, and I was like, yo, I gotta go there. So we made the trip down there. Like it was like we were like weary, man. Like let me tell you, bro. Chicago like kind of like scared us into like with the whole traveling thing,
right?
Because you know what I'm saying, we took such a loss. But man, we went to BlurCon, dude, and it was like the best we've ever done. Like that was like the best con that we did, like, that we did money wise. That was the best. That, you know what I'm saying, that like with people, like people from that event became like genuine fans. And
I've heard many stories about like how embracing and how supportive folks are. You have people out there, like a lot of content creators, and it's crazy. Like I had it all mapped out because eventually I want to do a panel, a panel called Hip Hop Marvels, which I'm just showcasing the pretty much how much Marvel and hip hop culture are alike.
Absolutely.
They're alike in
comics.
They're alike in more
hip-hop, man.
Yeah, they're alike in more ways than one. Yeah.
Like yo, like even thinking wise, right? Like when it comes to things like like Amazing Fantasies, the first appearance of Spider-Man. Back to the Barbecue. First appearance of Nas.
Exactly. I was gonna break that down. Look,
and then Nas wasn't even Nas. He was Nasty Nas. So,
Nasty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He had
another name.
So he was a different character. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Just like same song was the first appearance of Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, with Digital Underground, with a whole nother group. That's like somebody starring, you know, in X-Men, you know, and then branching off. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely,
it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of similarities, man. Many similarities.
Yo, and then you know what I'm saying? You got Wu-Tang, which is like the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then you got like cliques, you got like Rough Riders. They're like, you know what I'm saying? They're like the Foot Clan. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you ever heard the song Secret Wars? By, oh my God, what is this guy's name?
Last Emperor. You gotta listen. Listen to our theme.
Yeah.
Listen to. I don't know if you ever checked out our you know, podcast episodes.
I'm gonna be real. I'm so ignorant to it. But yo, dude, like I'm gonna go listen to like every episode. Right?
But yeah, the intro is the instrumental to Secret Wars.
Ooh, that's dope.
Yeah, so.
Yo, like that. I don't understand why that dude isn't hitting the con circuit, man. I'm giving jewels, man. So anybody listening, if you like, yo, when cons come back in 2021, somebody book Last Emperor to do Secret Wars. Yo, and there's another group that's dope too.
Shout out Last Emperor too.
Yeah, shout out Last Emperor. But then one of my favorite groups, they're like a comic nerd hip hop group called Heroes for Hire, which is dope. They from Philly. You gotta look into them. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, Heroes for Hire.
They got a song. They got a song called Odor Funk. They talking about niggas thinking like ass at comic conventions. the whole song is about dudes that reek of ass cheeks, man, and ass juice. Oh my
goodness!
Yeah.
That's
I saw
crazy.
I saw these dudes perform in Philly because we did a Latino Comic Con called Nerdtino, and they were performing. And that was one of the jams they performed, and I thought that shit was amazing. And they were like, yo, who wants a CD? I immediately threw my hand up. I was like, yo, I want two.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's dope.
Man.
So
yeah, man.
So like BlurCon and you said
C2E2, but then you know we've done Small Press Expo, and we did Small Press Expo, which is like we did that twice. That's in Bethesda, Maryland, but that's like a big that's kind of like Comic-Con but for small press, and so that was really dope. But we've done a lot of like New York, we've done, you know, events in New Jersey. We do ChemFest every year, which is like which is a Black Comic-Con. You know what I'm saying? So we've been trying to do different things, man. We try to get on as much events that kind of empower people of color. We like doing the Black and Latino events, you know.
Yes, definitely.
You know, we'll do, you know, events put on by white creators and stuff, and those we'll do okay at. But the ones where people see somebody that looks like them, and you know,
definitely
like them definitely. And everything, those are the ones that we tend to do better at. And I'm all about empowering people in any way. So
yeah, definitely, most definitely, man. Yeah. So what do you listen to, you know, nowadays? I know you're a hip hop head, so you know.
Yeah. Nah, I'm up on everything, man. So you know, I know every Friday new music comes out. I got Apple Music, man. So I listen to pretty much everything. So like, even if it's like, you know, the commercial to the most commercial dudes that you think about, I'll still listen to it because I still want to, you know, at least know what's going on. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to stay up, but I love the underground. And you know, I love like Griselda. I love, you know, Ito.
They definitely.
You know, I'm feeling like, you know, Mayhem Loren. You know, I'm listening to a lot of like underground hip hop. So like the Crime Apples, your Rome Streets. I'm even collecting tapes now. So I've been going back and buying, you know, classic doo-wops and Clues and Mr. C's and, you know what I'm saying, EFNs and, you know, screw tapes and all of that, man. Like,
you got to get some DJ Dub Floyd up in there too, man.
Yo, send me anything, bro.
For real, man.
Anything, and you know what I'm saying? I'll definitely write about it, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can say, yo, you know, you said this. It's a verbal contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So before we get out of here, man, is there anything you want to plug? Well, of course there is. I know.
I mean, you know, but there's this little magazine that I created. You know, so there's this little magazine that I created called Street Dreams. It's 56 pages of hip hop and hip hop culture, man. I'm speaking to you know, the best DJs in the world, innovators, you know, guys that you know, have met the greats. You're hearing stories about Big Pun from Doo-Wop. That Doo-Wop story, that he told the story about Big Pun that I've never seen him say anywhere else. So now, you know, people are gonna have to read Street Dreams to quote that. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gave me some in-depth stuff, man. You know, guys like DJ Butter, he's talking about, you know, chilling with Dilla and Eminem, and, you know what I'm saying, going through trials and tribulations with these guys, and, you know, talking to even like someone like J Arms, you know, the instrumental guy, you know, the guy that you hear the plane go by the before the instrumentals, you know what I'm saying? Like, I spoke to the instrumental guy.
That's how you knew. Like, that's how you knew folks stole the instrumentals for their freestyles, man. It'd be on their mixtapes, and you hear the little plane going by. I'm like, oh, he got that J Arms joint.
Dude, he was like the sound bed for mixtapes, man. Like,
for real.
Yo, he was like, dude, he is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there was no him, like, imagine the stupid loops and shit we would have heard on mixtapes, man. Yeah, and the crazy part is too, dude, like, he talks about like recreating most of those. So a lot of those beats, he said he recreated. Like, he went in and like found the samples and remade them to the way that like.
And that's crazy. And he found a niche, and you know what I'm saying, that was dope for you know, during that time in the mixtape game, because nobody was doing what he was doing as far as like the big instrumentals.
Absolutely, yeah, man. So, you know what I'm saying. So I talked to him. You know, P Cutter, that's another one, man. He told me, he was like, yo, like, I don't do interviews. He was like, yo, I don't do interviews. He's like, dude, he was like, yo, I do not let many people interview me. He's like, but yo, like, I read your questions, and he was like, yo, like, you knew your shit. He's like, so you actually, like, you know, and that was something that Doo-Wop even said too. He was like, yo, dude, like yo, like you know your shit. And he was like, you know, he was surprised too. So a lot of these guys, like, yo, a lot of them didn't, I guess, don't understand their importance sometimes.
Right.
And it's like, you know, I was happy. Like, at the end of the day, dude, it's gonna go down. Like, I got to interview Doo-Wop. I got to speak to, you know, J Arms. I got to know how things were created. And ultimately, man, Street Dreams. The next issue is coming out in September, and that shit is even crazier than this. And yeah, man, I'm just excited, man. I'm geeked, man. I'm so happy with the reception of this magazine. Like, it's unbelievable, man. And I just want people to experience it and see the beauty of it, man. Because you're getting stories, you're getting art, you're getting, you know what I'm saying, something that was like, number one, I wrote everything besides the stuff from other people. And, you know, I put everything together and created it and did it myself, you know. That was the other thing, too. So I did this all in 6 weeks, you know.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was the other thing, too. So I had to accumulate, like, get people, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, those interviews didn't come easy, man. So it was a lot of work that went into a lot of footwork and a lot of, like, Instagram DM. It's like, yo, like, please. Like, damn, dude, like, yo, like, Doo-Wop will tell you, man, like, I was like, yo, if you don't do it, if you don't grant me this interview, dude, then I'm not doing it. I was like, yo, I told him straight up, I was like, yo, if I can't interview you, then we ain't doing it. Then I'm not doing it. He was just like, yo, like, then he read the questions and he was like, yo, he's like, can you interview me over the phone? He's like, cause these questions, man, he's like, yo, like,
you have to type out a whole novel.
Yeah. He was like, yo, like, dude, he's like, that's a lot of shit to write.
For real.
So I was like, yo, I got you, bro. And, yo, so I had to, like, that's the other thing too. So, like, the kid in me is like sitting there, like, what is he gonna say next? And it's like, yo, each question, dude, was like peeling back a little bit more, and it was like, what? Oh, yeah, okay, you know. And it's like, oh my god, it's like, oh, and then, you know, I'm sitting back like, oh shit, you know. So, like, it was just, I like I said, man, like, I'm a fan of hip hop. I love rap. I could dissect it. I could talk about anything. We could talk about eras. We could talk about radio freestyles, anything. Like, I'm very well versed, and I love hip hop, and I think that's gonna come across. when you read this.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, I salute you, bro. I got to get my team some copies.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Oh man, yo. Speaking of which, man, I can't even like. All right, yo. So today I got a email that my comics, not the comic, the zine sold, and then in the seller's note, the person was like, it was like, thank you. We're about to add. We're gonna add this to the Cornell hip hop collection. So Cornell University is about to have my mag in their hip hop collection. That's
amazing.
Like,
yo, yeah, we gotta give it up for that. You know what I mean? That's amazing, man, bro.
Like that's like scholarly, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, yo, dude, I went to college and I did one class, dude. Only one class. I got an A and I was like, I'm good on college. Never again.
And now you're up in Cornell.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I got something that I wrote and you know what I'm saying, worked on, and it's sitting on a shelf in Cornell. It's going to be sitting on a shelf
in Cornell.
Yeah, like in Cornell. And then, I looked into the hip hop collection. There's a lot of crazy shit in there, man. Like African Bambaata's fucking record collection is in there.
Wow.
I mean, like, it's just like crazy shit. Just to even like say something like that is even crazier,
Yeah, that's
wild, man.
That's wild. Amazing. Yeah, man. Yeah. So where can everybody find you? Social media, your website?
Okay, so right now we're selling the magazine on Big Cartel. So it's Street Dreams Fanzine .Big Cartel. On Instagram, it's at Street Dreams Fanzine. Then you can follow my personal page, which is k.caraballo. So that's K, period, CARABALLO. That's where you'll find me. And then we got Dummy Comics. That's at DUMMIE Comics INC. And that's where you can find basically everything. That's like my life at this point. So
yeah, man. Like I said, man, we appreciate you for coming through.
Yo, dude, you got to tell them that, you know what I'm saying? You just hit me on some like drop of the dime, man. Like, you picked a good time, man. I like how this really like this whole thing like worked itself out, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. We've been trying to plan this one for a little bit, but yeah, it worked itself out. It was a good time.
Yeah,
and everything.
Man. Yeah, hell yeah, man.
And
I'm happy that we get to encapsulate this moment right now. Man.
Yeah, man. I definitely agree, and I appreciate you. Like I said, it was spur of the moment, but you got through it. So
yeah, hell yeah, man. I appreciate it, man.
But yeah, I definitely appreciate you coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all, pick up that Street Dreams independent fanzine about hip hop by Kalani Caraballo. He's doing dope things out there. And also check out Dummy Comics. He has multiple titles on that. Remember to listen, share, rate, and subscribe. We're on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Stitcher, and more. Also, if you have a question, comment, or suggestion, email us at hiphopmarvels@gmail.com and follow us on all our social media. That's Twitter and Instagram at hiphopmarvels and Facebook hiphopmarvels, all one word. And also subscribe to the Hip Hop Marvels YouTube channel. That's going to do it for this In-Betweeners segment. Remember, we're here to showcase marvelous people doing marvelous things within the culture. So salute to Kalani. Remember to stay marvelous, and we out.